Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to episode number 2 of Let's Play Pokemon Soul Silver. I'm not gonna lie, this episode is, it's a bit of a wash. It's a lot of training. We catch our second member of the party, thankfully. At least we get that done. But, I get lost on my travels here and can't find where to go. So we're gonna see up until that point. But I do promise next week's episodes will be eventful. And like I said in previous episodes, next week we will have episodes coming out on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So there is a lot to look forward to there next week with 3 episodes that should all be pretty hard hitters. Taking down trainers, Bellsprout Tower, getting our first gym badge, a lot of stuff. So that's all good stuff to look forward to. And I'm not sure if I shared it in the previous episode, but the whole goal of this Let's Play here is to create a team that consists of entirely Gen 2 Pokemon, which is something I've never done before. I've always got the Kadabra line on my team, so that should also be another fun, exciting element of this Let's Play. I'm really looking forward to going and doing that, because that's not something I typically do, but it should be fun. But now we're getting taught how to catch a Pokemon, and we're going to get some Pokeballs out of this. That's why I was running around the lab frantically at the beginning minute or 2 of this Let's Play, because it was like, hey, I need to get some Pokeballs because I need to catch my team member here, because I know he only appears at night, and I want to get him on the team. Gator needs a friend, you know? Gator can't go on without having a buddy. He needs a buddy on his team. Every time I say buddy, the dog's staring at me. She's just looking at me like, oh, you talk about me? I'm your buddy. Which is very fun. Very fun. But here we go. She's going to hit a Rattata. Rattata hit back, and then she's going to throw a Pokeball at him and catch him. So that way we know how to catch a Pokemon. I get it. Tutorials at the beginning of a game, very important, but sometimes can be very frustrating, which, if you're keeping up with the Kingdom Hearts Let's Play, is extremely frustrating because they gave me about 3 hours of tutorials. So, I mean, there's some story involved in that. Kingdom Hearts does do a good job with it, but honestly, on the video that's going to come out on Friday, I do a lot more explaining in those 40 minutes than the 3 hours of gameplay does. Like, I fill in 90% of the gaps that, like, just don't make sense. So yeah, it's, you know, it could be a tad frustrating, but we get through it one episode at a time. But, oh, excuse me. There's a Hoot. But what level is he? I can't really see. Is he level 3? I think that's good enough. Level 3 is good enough. Let's give him a water gun, see if that knocks him out. If not, his stats should be okay enough that we should be able to survive this. Oh, he just barely survived. That's actually perfect, because catching him should be super easy then. Let's use the Pokeball. Excuse me. Little bit of a cough. I don't know why, but this time of year I tend to be like A-okay throughout the day, and then I get sniffles and a cough in the afternoon. Not sure if it's just like the temperature outside. It goes vastly from like high 70s to like low 50s in the middle of the night. So I'm not sure if it's just that change in the temperature or if it's other things, but it could be a number of things. And I'm gonna name my guy here Hooter, because that seems like a fun and appropriate name for this Let's Play. And yeah, this is where you're only gonna see in this episode. You know, it may occur in future episodes a little bit, but this episode is really gonna focus on getting everything up to date. So, you're gonna see a lot of switch training in this episode, where, you know, Hooter will be the main party member for myself, but then I'll be switching into Gator to actually deal with it, just so that way we could share some EXP, because it's not as good as the newer games where you just get the EXP share and you don't have to worry about anything and life is peachy. That is not how I guess technically this is Gen 4, but Gen 2 in my mind. That's not how Gen 4 works, ladies and gentlemen. The EXP share wasn't introduced until very recently, so what you have to do in these old school games is send your Pokemon out there, bring them back, send in the actual Pokemon you want to fight, and then they share the EXP equally because him just being out there counts as him fighting. And a soda pop. But yeah, it's a time sink. Or a time sink. I said that right. But I said it like SYNC. It's a time sink. SINK. But at the same point in time in these earlier episodes, it really doesn't make a difference. You know, I tend to like cap these off at like 30 minutes a pop. I think here I was able to cut out maybe like 5 or 6 minutes worth of content, but yeah, it's really not a huge deal in these earlier episodes. In the later episodes where like we have to raise a Pokemon from like level 15 to level 30, you're not gonna see that stuff. You know, at this level we're just trying to keep Hooter on par here with Gator, because he's going to be a valuable team member for a good chunk of the game, I'm pretty sure. I know he will be replaced at some point in time. I don't want to share who his replacement will be, but I do have plans to replace him at some point in time. But I'd like to keep him on par. It'd be extremely nice to get him to learn some flying type moves so he could take down Bugsy, if possible. But I think Hooter will get a lot of EXP in Bellsprout Tower, which should be the next episode in this Let's Play series. Yeah, that one's probably going to be on the longer side. I know this episode was on the shorter side, so. But I am aiming between the two Let's Plays. I really want these episodes to come out in like 30-minute intervals. I find like that's the perfect like Let's Play length. And it's perfect for me from doing the voiceover stance. But I think, like, watchability-wise, 40 minutes is a tad too long. 20 minutes, we don't get enough covered. So I think 30 minutes is, like, a good middle ground, if that makes sense to you guys out there. And it makes sense to me doing them, I should say. Because when I do the voiceover, and I open up those Kingdom Hearts Let's Plays, and they're, like, 42 minutes, those last couple minutes, I'm just like, oh, come on. You know, it takes a lot out of you. It takes a lot out of you. Being as, like, I can't even start doing these until, like, 9 p.m. So that's when I finish, like, my running and workout routine. So yeah. At that point, I'm, like, exhausted and just ready to be done with the day. And then it's like, oh, yeah, by the way, you have to sit down for 2 hours tonight and do voiceovers. Just fantastic. Fantastic news. Now I got the dog staring at me. She's staring at me like a lunatic. She says, come on, buddy. You're ready for bed, aren't you? But I still have a little bit. Still have to finish up this one, because it comes out tomorrow. That's it. Yeah, oddly enough, I did the voice recording for Kingdom Hearts 2 Episode 3 right before I did this one. And now I'm doing this one. It's like, in retrospect, I should have did that one after this one, because this one comes out tomorrow. But it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. You know how it always goes on the Average Joe episode. Nothing but perfection on all of these videos. That's right, baby. We always wait till the last minute, but we get stuff out there. That's the important part. Things get published in a timely manner. I'm trying super hard on these Let's Plays to stick to the schedule, especially the first week here. Like, not getting that in the first week would be not good news for the Let's Play as a whole. I want to reassure people out there, you know, videos are going to come out in a timely fashion. And I'm also really curious to see, like, how this Let's Play in particular does, because the aspect ratio changed dramatically on the YouTube side because of how it's being recorded. So, yeah, I think this Let's Play is going to be more favorable to view on, like, a phone screen than it is on a television screen. So I'm kind of curious to see, like, you know, what the results of that are. Like, do people like that a little bit more? Do people not like that a little bit more? You know, like what's the general consensus on that? Because on the DS stuff, it's really hard to get it to take up a full screen without having a bunch of blank space there, which I am a fan of, but I'm not a fan of. Yeah, and like movies and stuff, I do like a lot more blank space because I like to focus on characters, but like in a presentation or something that I'm watching and paying close attention to, I don't like that because I'd rather the person giving the presentation or the person sharing the details to give more of the information than the presentation or whatever it is that they're sharing. But yeah, I'm curious to see like how those videos perform compared to other videos that I post out there. And I mean, everything seems positive, but we'll see as we get a couple episodes in what the perception is there, and if I need to go and make some massive changes, I probably can. But it's just all about finding like what that looks like for myself on the channel here, because it could be a dramatic change in how it appears and how it's structured. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure when the Pokemon Pearl Nuzlocke comes out, because I'm going to be using the same emulator for that, and that's in 2 months, we will have adjusted. So if this Let's Play maintains in this aspect ratio to the end, but people seem to hate it, we'll have some adjustments for the Pokemon Pearl Nuzlocke. And I'm very much looking forward to that. I've actually already started planning out my team and things like that, like possibilities, so I hope you guys are looking forward to that one as well. But now, yeah, at this point in time, we're just doing some initial training in this game. I always feel like that's an important element that, you know, oftentimes doesn't really get acknowledged in a lot of Let's Plays. Is like, hey, the first 5 to 6 episodes are like pretty rough when it comes to like what's actually going on versus what's displayed. You know, you want to see a gym badge in like the first 2 to 3, which I think we're on schedule to do, but you know, at the same point in time, it's like, well, the Pokemon need to be raised enough to do a good job too. You know, if they can't compete out there, they're not going to do well in a gym battle. And here, yeah, it looks like these trees can be headbutted, so that's a cool addition to this generation. We can headbutt trees that will occasionally knock Pokemon out of them. There is at least one Pokemon that I want to get that way. That probably spoils a lot, because if you watch my Pokemon Gold Let's Play, I fought like hell to get one of the Pokemon out of those trees, because there's only a couple areas you can get him at, but he is a really rad Pokemon, and if I can get him on the team again, we're getting him. He is a tank. Quite possibly, yeah, he's in my top 5 Gen 2 favorite Pokemon. So that should be a lot of fun. Maybe I'll put that down. I know I put last episode, like, who's your favorite Gen 2 Pokemon, but maybe I'll do, like, who's your favorite Gen 2 starter, or something like that. You know, it's tough to come up with questions like this early in the game, because there's just so many moving elements to a Let's Play like this, but I'll try to come up with something, and we'll get that in there. The dog is shaking her head. She is cranky. She's ready for sleep. I can tell just by looking at her. She's ready. But here we go. Yeah, we're just purchasing a bunch of items at this point in time. I know that this episode for sure is a bit more rambly than the first one. I'm definitely all over the place in comparison to the last episode. But that's just because, you know, it's the beginning of this series, and like I said, I had to do 2 voiceovers tonight instead of 1. So whenever I have to do that, it means I'm up extra late, it means I'm enjoying a lot more soda pops than usual, and just rolling with the punches on these episodes. You know, sometimes that's what it takes. But there we go. I think we got a substantial amount of items. Let's check around town here, see what's going on in all these places. This is something we typically don't do in a Let's Play, but I mean, we have the time. Nothing of great event is going to go on in this episode regardless. A couple trainer battles at the end of it, but that's about it. So we might as well go venture around the town, see what we could figure out about this place, see what's going on, get the lowdown of everybody in this little village, because that should be a lot of fun. Lots of people talking. People are talking about people. I turn around, I look at my Pokemon. Hooter is glowing with health. That's very nice. Good job, Hooter. Woo! Your name doesn't mean anything negative. Don't think about it. We got Hooter and Gator. That is, I'm never going to be able to say Gator without saying it like that. Gator. Such a rugged name. He makes appointments for all the ladies. It's Gator's job. There's going to be, it's not going to be in these first couple episodes, because, like I said, I'm more curious to see how they do with the format and stuff, but there is going to be some pretty harsh comments about Gator later on this Let's Play. I already know it. I already know I'm not going to be able to let it go. Like, it is just not going to fly. Because, like I said, Gator is... We named him after Will Ferrell's character in The Other Guys, who is a pimp in his college years, and he called himself a Gator. And I love it. Every scene with Gator in it in that movie is great. So, I'm imagining my buddy Gator here is going to take on that role for me. He's going to be the guy he needs to be. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's switch out in the Rattata. Rattata could be a trolling Pokemon. I really don't want Hooter to have to deal with that. But Hooter's made some pretty good progress, like level up wise. He's getting closer to Gator. So Gator's had a lot more experience out here in the world, but I'm really happy with my starter choice overall, I would say. Yeah, I was trying to think if I had another... Oh, Hooter's trying to learn Hypnosis. Oh, it just learned it. That's right, it had an open move slot. But if I wasn't going to pick Gator here, I think I would have went with Chikorita, which is, as a fun fact for all those curious, my first time playing through this game, Chikorita is the starter that I chose, which made this game a million times harder for me. But Chikorita is actually like a really cool looking Pokemon. Like, I think out of the three of them, I think Cyndaquil just looks dangerous. I think Totodile looks like a troublemaker. And I think Cyndaquil just looks like a cute little Pokemon. So I think, like, as a kid, that's why, like, I just went with Cyndaquil, or what am I talking about? I went with Chikorita because I was just like, oh, this just looks like a friendly, easy to raise Pokemon. Plus, at that point in time, I had played through Pokemon Fire Red a few times as a kid, and I was like, oh, the grass type has like an inherent advantage in the beginning of these games. I should just choose a grass type again, which turned out to be not the case in this Let's Play, or in this generation, I should say, period. You are much better off to go with Cyndaquil. If you want me to make a video on that explaining why, let me know, or if you just want me to comment on it in the Let's Plays, I can do that as well. But Cyndaquil is the clear-cut choice in this generation. There's only a few generations where I could say, hey, like, all around, this Pokemon is the best choice. Like, I would say the only other one that, like, trumpetes this one, where, like, Cyndaquil is clearly the best choice, would be the following two generations. I would say in Generation 3, where your choices are Torchic, Mudkip, or I can't remember the green guy's name, Trico, Mudkip is the best choice by miles. Like, no question. There is no question. I know Chikorita has a lot of, or not Chikorita, Torchic has a lot of really solid moves, but, and it, in fairness, performs really well, but Mudkip is the best option. And then if you're looking at Diamond or Pearl, Chimchar, 100% of the time. Like that, it's a no-brainer in those games that Chimchar is the best starter by miles. But I would say in this game, yeah, Cyndaquil's definitely the best starter, like, as a whole. Totodile is a close second, and then Chikorita is dead last. It's not great. But that stinks, because, like, in comparison to Gen 1, I would say the order goes Bulbasaur is the best starter. Squirtle is a close number 2. And then Charmander comes in at 3rd there, because he's not really effective for, like, a good portion of the game. I mean, he could hold his own in wild battles, but as far as trainers go, he's not great for a while, so. But that's my own personal feedback. For all those people that love Chikorita out there, comment down in the comments below why you like Chikorita, because I liked it as a kid. It was my favorite starter in this region. I was like, I'm gonna pick that. And when I did that, I made this game substantially harder on myself as a kid. I honestly don't recall beating it the first time I played through it with my little Chikorita. I think instead I came back at it later with Cyndaquil, who my older brother played it with, and said it was a lot easier, and I found out the same thing. And I think the first Pokemon game I actually beat was Pokemon Ruby. I think that was the first one I actually sat down and beat, and then the first one I got like a good understanding at was Pokemon Diamond. I remember that I spent easily 100 hours in that game, like grinding my Pokemon up to level 100 and doing all the post-credit stuff and having tons of fun. Like, that was a game that, like, I know for sure I spent way more time and had a lot of fun playing growing up. But that is going to be it for this episode. Like I said, it was a very uneventful episode. If you did like this episode, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. All that good stuff is free for you and greatly motivational for myself to make videos just like this now and in the near future. Next episode, we should be taking on a couple trainers and maybe even going into Bellsprout Tower, and then the episode following, we should be taking on a gym battle, and then we should have a surprise episode, quote-unquote surprise episode, coming out on Saturday of next week as well, because I want to sort of mitigate the chance of this Let's Play going longer than I initially expected it to. So we're going to have bi-weekly posts, where 1 week it'll come out, there's 2 episodes per week, and then the next week it'll come out, there's 3 episodes per week. So look forward to that. If you're not a huge fan of this series, we also have Kingdom Hearts 2 coming out on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, which is personally one of my favorite games of all time. So there's a lot of enthusiasm, things like that behind that Let's Play, so feel free to check that out as well. And let me know how you feel about the aspect ratio in these videos. For me, it's a lot easier to just sort of port out the video like this and share it this way, but if it's really like a huge headache, drop that in the comments section below, and maybe I could look at sort of revamping this kind of stuff. But until next time, everybody take it easy, and peace out, Girl Scout. We'll see you all here on the next one.